you feel for her. But I think that she's still, if I were to be honest, I still think that it's affecting her, and I still think that she needed time off. I think that maybe physically she was ready to come back, but just mentally, I just don't think that she is there. I don't see it. The physical, she looked fine in the Royal Rumble, but just mentally there, it just seems off. Why? Because Charlotte, to me, in my eyes, has never been a good promo, but this whole time with Tiffany, it's been catastrophically bad. Okay, and you take a look at that, and we talk about Dominic Mysterio heat. That's nuclear heat, where they hate your guts because they want to see you get beat up. But that heat that Charlotte Flair was getting was, get out of my ring, get out of our ring, on to the next thing because we don't want to see you. And that's bad, trendsetter. That's bad. And I know that I'm saying a lot here, but it's just something that I observed. And obviously, I'm going to give you time to give your observations. But she just seems flustered. And again, Charlotte Flair, when she seems like she's flustered, she'll do this crazy thing where she doesn't give a damn, and she'll just, like the whole Becky Lynch trading the belts. Obviously, she was hurt about it, or she didn't like the way that it was done. She took her emotions on the screen. Here, I don't know if Tiffany triggered it with the 0 for 3 as far as divorces, and then she went with the whole Ludwig Kaiser's in my DMs comeback, but it just all seemed bad. And Tiffany Stratton, for some reason, the baby face is not working. And you mentioned it too. Sometimes it's good to have a heel run first and eventually organically grow into the face. None of this, to me, has worked out. And even to the point where Tiffany Stratton, all you had to do was just walk out and lift the title, hold it up high, because you won the promo basically from default, because Charlotte just basically gave you nothing. And then you lift up the title and you hold it up upside down. It was a microcosm of the shit show that was this promo. Trendsetter, when you look back at this, obviously your observations are going to pale in comparison to what I just gave you, but this was bad. And I wouldn't be proud to win this promo. If you're honest with me, I would not have been proud of this.
I would have been proud to be part of that segment in general. Yeah. I mean, if there's anybody more uncomfortable was Wade Barrett in the middle of the ring, having to look at this happen in front of him and be like, what am I watching right now? This is literally a train wreck among train wrecks happening. This is if a train and a plane both crash at the same time. And we know how interesting that is, because one's in the air and one's on the ground. Man, it was beyond awful. But a lot of people liked it because, it's compelling. You like to see sometimes, that disaster happen right in front of you and see what happens. But
you got them talking, got people talking about it, whether it was good or bad, right?
People were questioning, was it real? Was it a shoot? Was it? So despite how bad this buildup, and it's been really bad. Listen, if this was just on paper, if it was just Charlotte picking Tiffany Stratton, and they didn't touch or speak to WrestleMania, people would be psyched for this. I really feel that. They would be psyched if there's no interaction from the point where Charlotte made her decision to WrestleMania, and that's probably would have been best, probably. Because if I'm Triple H right now, I don't have any hair, but any other hair I would have left on my beard, I would have been ripping across my face, because it just seems to me my biggest thing that I take from this, and there's several things that I'll get to real quick, but the biggest thing I get from it is that everything looks good on paper at times, but when you see it, there's no chemistry, there's no timing, there's nothing there. And I'm surprised that literally there's nothing there. I compared this to another scenario that happened where Charlotte, before she got injured, was set to face Toni Storm, and people were excited because everyone was rooting for Toni Storm when she was part of WWE, wanting this match to happen because it was a fantasy match for a lot of people, Toni Storm versus Charlotte Flair. And we saw the buildup from the old regime, similar to this one now, this new regime. It was just a train wreck. It was miserable. There was no timing between the two individuals. We know what happened in the ring together, but no timing from a promo standpoint. And basically, we hope Tiffany doesn't, pick up her ball and go home like what Toni Storm did and went to AEW. But this is the same scenario where it's just that bad that I just wish none of them ever spoke to each other. We just got the match at WrestleMania. I would have been happy with that, hoping that there would be some chemistry with them in the ring. Tiffany Stratton is not a good babyface because she doesn't come off that way. Similar, I call it the Seth Rollins effect. They're just people who are just good at one particular thing. Now, Seth has changed that because now he is a good babyface or a good in-betweener because you hate him, you love him, whatever, but you'll still cheer for him. You'll still hum his song, right? I think Tiffany was going to be in that direction because as much as people wanted to see her get her, get beat up and get, get what's coming to her, you still love the way she acted and the way she was this,
athleticism. It was hard to root against her athleticism because she was just so good in ring.
Yeah, but also in the terms of doing the one-ups on people in promos, it came natural to her. This is not natural for her. As you can tell, her stuttering. You can tell she's trying to remember lines here. It doesn't come off as authentic. And then to Charlotte's point, listen, the points you made too, in terms of she's still dealing with, a failed marriage and a divorce. She's going through probably maybe some personal things. Maybe some confidence isn't there as much as she tries to promote that.
Her ex is on the same brand. It's on the same brand too. So
yeah, but again, despite that, sometimes when you're gone for a period of time that Charlotte was, to have the confidence, can you still do this at this high level? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would be doubting themselves. I mean, we only saw at the Royal Rumble. She competed on SmackDown against BFAB, and that's basically it. So now a lot of pressure's on her. But the thing that you talked about before, where in terms of the promo, this is the thing with Charlotte that I think, again, she's a better heel than she is a babyface, because it's very hard to cheer for her with all accolades and people feeling her to be entitled and thinks that this was just, she didn't pay her dues, et cetera, et cetera. She has earned her where she is right now in terms of somebody on this roster being a star, right? But it's the same thing. It's the same shtick. The queen, this, that. Give me something different. Now, her wardrobe attire has changed drastically, and that has some effect on it too. But it just seems that Charlotte, I don't see Charlotte Flair when she's out there, especially this new rendition of her. You know who I see? I see Ashley. I see Ashley, a girl or a woman, respects to a woman, who's out there trying to figure something out, which a lot of people would say, you're a veteran at this stage in your career, you shouldn't be figuring it out. You should know who you are.
You know what it
and
is?
she's having those problems. She's having problems with Charlotte and Ashley.
You know what it is? Yes, it's and no one's gonna get this except if you're a hockey fan. It's Ashley Flair trying to find Charlotte Flair by the time she gets to WrestleMania, and she hopes that she can find her because she's reaching for her. It's like she forgot how to be a wrestler, and not in the wrestler in the ring, and just to be the persona. It's like it's like she just forgot how to be Charlotte. That's what it looks like to me. We were talking about this is a funny story too, and we're Devils fans. And then I remember there was a coaching change, and one of our favorite coaches of all time, Jack Lemire, had to come back because the team was tanking. And he basically, the first night, I was like, "Oh, I saw so many things."